Hi there, it's the last trading week of February, so let's have a look at this week's most important driving factors. Geoffrey Yu from UBS is on the line. Geoffrey, German business confidence climbed for a fourth month as faster economic growth and optimism over ECB stimulus outweighed fears for Greece. So what are your views on this data and what sort of impact is this having on markets, especially the euro?
I think it's just the latest in a series of numbers suggesting that economic growth in the eurozone, or at least in several places in the eurozone, especially the core, is actually starting to improve, along with earnings growth and things along those lines. So yes, this is certainly having an impact, but to be honest, I don't think markets were too negative about whatever came out of Greece in the first place. I think up ahead we'll have to keep an eye on German GDP, which is going to be due tomorrow. If the final Q4 print is higher than expectations, then the euro could consolidate levels from here.
Greece is racing to finalise reform proposals that would keep its loan lifeline open under an EU debt deal. The Swiss franc weakened against all of its 16 major peers on the back of this news. So tell us your views on this. What are you expecting to see this week?
Well, I think this Greek deal has bought time, at most 4 months, but some of the structural issues remain unresolved, and probably we'll have to revisit some of the problems in a couple of weeks' time or 4 months' time, depending on how developments unfold. It's clear that this isn't over yet. As for the Swiss franc, so yes, the lack of a adverse outcome has clearly helped the franc-funded trades, but overall we think that the franc over the last few weeks or so has been on downward trajectory anyway. That's been influenced by technical factors within markets as all agents, still absorb the exit of the S&B supporting levels. So overall, we actually do think, Euro Swiss may drift a bit lower as profits are taken on several long trades. But it's important to bear in mind that markets are still quite illiquid right now. So, large-scale moves, especially compared to previous months and quarters, should not be totally unexpected.
And moving over to the UK, where we will see GDP data out this week. So what sort of week will it be for the pound?
We are already a bit concerned about sterling strength at these levels, especially against the euro. If, for example, GDP continues to surprise to the upside, so beyond the 0.5% Q on Q, then if euro sterling takes another leg lower, then this could become disruptive for the Bank of England because inflation is likely going to come down and drag lower by the strong pound. So it is a case of how much good news is good news before it comes bad news.
Moving over to the US. We have US composite PMI out this week and of course some important speeches. What do you think will be the most important market movers?
The market composite is not really an important figure. I think the ISMs are more important for dollar watchers, so that's probably secondary for now. Markets, of course, will react to Fed Chairwoman Yellen's comments, especially whether she has anything to say about two things really. Firstly, the pace of normalization. So if they are inclined to remove the word patience from their statement, that could signal early moves. And secondly, of course, the strength of the dollar and how that's playing into their normalization targets. So, that's something to bear in mind too.
And Geoffrey, what are you expecting to see from Asian markets this week?
We're expecting a relatively robust opening, I guess, given that the Greece situation has resolved, temporarily, throughout the Lunar New Year. We're more interested in, how Asian currencies perform, especially in a broad dollar strengthening environment.
Geoffrey, as always, brilliant interview. Thank you very much. Well, viewers, do not go anywhere. We have plenty more heading your way on Dukascopy TV today. So see you soon.